Yo, morning guys, welcome back to the Ahn Rho Project. This is the psychiatric self-therapeutic multimedia project to solve problems, challenges in our lives, as well as a self-improvement process to reach heights, goals, ambitions we set for ourselves, and so on and so forth. If you'd like an introduction, a breakdown of the Ahn Rho Project into domains of life, sub-series analogies, and the entire conceptual framework, as well as the copyright-free music, the live streaming schedule. You can check that out in the previous live streams for the past 3.5 years straight to January 2021. Introductions all there. That being said, let's dive into the table of contents today. Roughly about 8 to 9 segments as usual. And I'm just going to run through them very quickly right now. After the table of contents, the third segment is going to be, what you see is what you get. But there's a little bit of photographs here. Photography of, actually, I rarely show my face anymore on live stream because I'm always behind camera. But basically, you see my fucking mess at the workplace. I just felt that was a little bit funny to show to the screen right now. Like, came in to work late for 3.5 hours, and I've been doing this for a long time, so it's just kind of symbolic of the mess. So it's a little bit of photography. After that, we're going to cover some digital stuff that has to do with media. So media is kind of like the fourth segment. Right up here from Stoic Reflections Instagram channel. You got to check that out because that's one of the very few pages I actually follow. But the primary cause of happiness and so on and so forth. We're going to talk a little bit about that and Stoicism. After that, we're going to go into maybe the sixth segment, which is usually a little bit more energetic, so a little bit more active. If I turn my hand over here, right, so you can see that's region D1, divvy up the room into 7 different regions and then broken down into areas. And so this is kind of into sections. Section A7, A8, we have some stuff we had to put away and stuff I still have to give to my brother. And then that kind of transitions into the 7th segment, which is going to be me sitting down here where I am right now on the chair. And we're going to talk a little bit about relationships at the workplace, so employment-wise, and also what to do with family. And my brother, I had a serious conversation with him, and we worked some stuff out, just some very minor logistical things, but it really made things smooth out a lot. We got a lot better understanding of how to live with each other as he's just moved in back. And also filling some stuff. But obviously there's going to be a lot of privacy there. I'm not going to delve into too much detail. It's going to be very vague. After that, the 8th segment is just pretty much, I believe, we might pull up the Excel spreadsheet here if we have some time, and cover some fitness, some overall, me and constipation right now, being late for work, arrival times, getting sleep, and then finally comments and sections. So if you have any questions, leave it down in the bottom below. Feel free to, you can put some funny memes and jokes too if you feel it's too serious. Like, it's not a big deal, man. It's just because right now I'm going to jump into 3 disclaimers, right? Before we get started. The first one is, yes, this is a high utility stream. So it means that, I am taking this quite a bit more seriously than maybe, but not too serious, right? I try to take it a little bit, it's not like I want to be unapproachable, but this is of benefit to me. These live streams are of benefit to me. That's primary use, and eventually maybe useful for some of you, as these topics may or may not be relatable. Second thing is, I have to be real, raw, and genuine, so I have to cover the good, the bad, and the ugly on stream. And even if it involves emotional insecurities and emotional baggage, because otherwise, by analogy, the Ahn Rho Project is a time capsule of my life, so it doesn't serve much point if I'm not being honest. And last but not least, is we're going to try to turn this into a game, more game theory application, almost kind of like mimicking sort of a bit of a RuneScape-esque kind of feel if you ever played RuneScape. So that being said, that's a favorite game of mine. Let's just dive into things because that's a very long-winded introduction. So this kind of photograph here, I got this kind of Russian hat put on the side. Here's me with my glasses on once again. It's just it's like total mess. So I showed to the workplace 3.5 hours late again, and I'm incredibly disappointed. I walk in there like the mess that I am, and just trying to. I don't really have any other photography to show you. That's a pretty pointless thing to say, but basically it touches on what's been on my mind for the past almost 9 months, and then the past 4 months have been actually got significantly more personal. I started to realize a lot of things about myself were heavily influenced from the way that I basically had to raise myself as a human being, but also the influences that I had received from my guardians and the way they impacted my decisions. How I thought I was making free decisions, and how those free decisions were never actually that free to begin with, and that's a shame. Okay, but we have to keep pressing on, okay, and just focus on the future instead of dwelling on the past. So that's that. Moving on to the side, we have the left-hand panel here, Stoic Reflections right here. So this is from, it says, Eckhart Tolle. I gotta lower the music, the volume. The primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation, but your thoughts about it. Now, again, some disagreement here, some agreement, some disagreement. Anytime you have a cliche, you got to be a little bit more nuanced than that. But the point is, you get the idea, right? You can control your thoughts, you can control your reaction. You can't control people or places or the situation, but you can control that primarily. So if you can't control anything else, then you should resort to at least handling your mindset and staying calm, composed, and unfazed by whatever comes your way, ideally. Now, that's not always possible. It's easier said than done, and sometimes you do actually have to. Most of the time, you should be acting, not just withdrawing into your mind. Okay, so with that being said, that's kind of what I saw on Instagram there, and that's on basically that's something I wanted to cover today, because I am going through a bunch of issues. So let's get rid of this. Let's get up now. So the fifth segment, let's get up. We're about 6 minutes in, not bad for timing. This time we're kind of on track. This is region D1. You can see that I finally put the Glucerna meal replacement downstairs. The rest here is just snacks. Some of this stuff I bought from my brother, the Oreos, but the rest here is just me buying stuff on sale. So it's very bad, and also just trying some of the foods here that I never tried. Again, not healthy at all. Don't do what I do. I'm just kind of fucked up. The main highlight today is to go to region A7 and A8, because there's some stuff we need to remove. Obviously, it's still a mess. And if you compare this to about maybe 6 months ago, this was completely spick-span clean. This is what happens in life, But I'll take care of it eventually. We're going to do things one at a time. We have the light here that we're trying out. Beautiful. I love this wireless LED light. Just 3 AAA batteries. And again, the main highlight here being that I can change colors. So I can turn it red right now, green, whatever. Just like the one here on the side. This one can also turn all the variety different colors. So we tested that out. So it's a nice teal right now. Let's get back here. We have this mask that I thought I was going to use, and I'm not going to use after all. It was a little bit of jokes, shits and giggles actually. I'm just going to think about it when I take a shower too. But now, I've worked things over. I'm not going to use it after all. That's good actually, because I didn't want to have to use this. It was kind of like some way to lighten the atmosphere. So I'm going to take this and put it back into decorations kind of box. That area is in region C6 right there. Underneath that jacket, C6 or C7, something like that. I'm just going to toss it in there. Put some stuff back inside here and make it, fit it in there again. So I'm just drop this over to region G, which is the bed. I gotta make sure to put that away. So this should be empty from that. Next thing I also have to do when I get back from work is hand this Seagate portable storage device, 2 terabytes worth of space, over to my brother. I should have done that this morning. Actually, I had a conversation with him, which is where we're going to transition to in about 30 seconds from now. So at the meantime, though, I also wanted to give him this box and ask him if he wanted to read up on instructions. There's probably not too much setup that needs to be done in terms of software. I remember plugging in this software is well included, has some instructions. So my brother will be able to make use of this 2 terabytes worth of space, and then I can finally put the packaging back inside this box after I ask him the question, and then we'll be done. And at least we can get rid of some of the hardware and electronics from here. We also have some food I binge ate, and we have this stuff here right now. This is like oatmeal. Again, I'm still waking up late and everything, so yeah, and so I gotta clear this stuff here. This stuff needs to go up here for a second, and that's just food. Alright, so looking a little bit better, hardly, but you take what you can get. Okay, next, we just talked about my brother, right? So I want to give this to him. I have finally a serious conversation, right, with him about how it's going to work out. So I described the situations that's going down. 5 different family or tenants inside this household, and they're trying to make everything work out, right? So I need to have a conversation about that. No details, just saying, it's like how's that going to work out? Because originally there's, you know what, forget it. There's like a room that we may or may not share, and then we had to work out whether or not facilities are going to be shared in certain ways. And it was just that, and then we, ventured off into topics about, issues within our blood. So like that, and then that's about it. As in, it was some lighthearted stuff about not that lighthearted, about work and stress and managing stress and managing schedules, stuff like that. He's doing his own gig. Again, I'm being very vague here for a purpose, right? Confidentiality, privacy. I'm not going into too much detail. And that's that. So that was a serious conversation. Lasted about maybe 35 minutes. And I did get through some sort of recording of that to a sense, so that I can review the topics that we covered, and certain ways I can make use of that so that I can refine how I manage my relationships. Okay, so that's done. And then another thing, at the workplace today, I stayed up to about 5:30 before coming back, and that's the first time I ever stayed that long in almost like a year and a half at the workplace, because I noticed that PB and JM, again, like I said, fantastic individuals, the owner of my workplace employment company, and they're staying up late, probably until like 11 p.m. at night, just trying to push through some really heavy duty orders. And I wanted to help them out as best as I could, because I felt partially responsible for causing the situation that they're so far behind. I'm partly responsible for the reason why they haven't been able to keep up with the work demand and our clients. And so I wanted to stay there and help them out. So I came home really late yesterday night, and things just kind of bled out into the morning like that as well. And so that's that. Okay, so those are relationships, that's workplace employment, that's family matters and affairs, logistics, residency. Okay, moving on. 2 more segments. So in terms of databasing and stuff like that, we have like a business inventory. I think the only thing that's really changed is when it comes to finance, I had to update. That cost me about like $150 or $100 for taxation. And then the other thing, I also had to add the inventory that I'm going to receive in a couple of days from my business partner. So that's all the USANA Health Science supplements right here. So that's all the kind of stuff I had to add into the database. Okay, and I had to get down how much it costs, like roughly about 100 to 200 to $300 or whatever. So that's a monthly supply. And then on top of that, fitness. So that's a big one. I have, obviously, based off of what I've been eating recently, it's just like, and that feeds off of all the stress from the project and the business and the health and the disease and the therapy and the workplace and everything just coming together. Yeah, I haven't been eating well, and I can tell that I'm having constipation issues now. So I had to make sure I take care of this, and I know what to do, and I'm doing it, and so it's good. So I'm eating a lot more fiber now. I'm clearing my guts now, but it's still a work in progress. So, and obviously the USANA Health Science supplements help a lot, because I am in biomedical research myself when it comes to education. So with that comes to a close. We just have last 2 segments, which is if you guys have any comments and questions right now, which is none. That's great, perfect. So we'll keep it up. Just skip ahead and say the take-home message, which is what? To take care of your health, your finances, yourself. Make sure you become a strong, disciplined, responsible individual. Not to preach or anything like that, just I hope you share this understanding with me that you really can't help anyone else. You can't provide or contribute any value to someone else's life if you don't have any value to contribute in the first place. And so it's best to be strong and independent, and be able to take care of things and stand on your own 2 feet before you try to do something for another individual, another person, another group of people, or society in general. With that being said, I hope to see a better version of you as well as myself in the next live stream tomorrow morning. This is Ahn Rho signing out. Thank you for tuning in, my dear hypothetical readers. Ciao.